Session to order. Sheriff Eads, would you lead us in prayer?
Yes. Y'all pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another beautiful day you give us to live in. So we thank you for our family and our communities. Thank you for our comfort. We'll go watch over this meeting tonight. Got the new commissioners are right before learn this process quickly and give everyone that's elected the wisdom to lead our county in the right direction always and be mindful of the people that we serve.
Amen. Everyone stand for pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Simpkins,
Here.
Mr. Ledger,
Here.
Mr. McElwain,
Here.
Mr. Beatty,
Here.
Mr. Dawson,
Here.
Ms. Spicer, Mr. Buckner,
Here.
Mr. Britt,
Here.
Mr. Petty,
Here.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Grove,
Here.
Ms. Gray.
Please keep Commissioner Spicer in your thoughts. She's battling COVID. She's making a comeback on that. Want to welcome all of our new commissioners, Commissioner Ledger, Commissioner Britt, Commissioner Groves, Commissioner Gray. It's good to have y'all here tonight. You have one specific rule you have to keep here is when you talk, speak in the microphone or the folks at home get mad at you. So lean into that thing, push that button in front of you. When it turns red, the whole world can hear you. So next, the first order of business is approval of the minutes of the August 1st, 2022 work session. Motion by Commissioner Buckner, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 2 is committee reports. Any committees to report? Hearing none. The next order of business is new business. I'm sorry, got a little excited. The next one is appointments. We have expiration of terms on 911 board. I have 3 names I'd like to bring to you. Chuck Boyd, Tiffany Dawson, and Tony Adams. I'm asking for their appointment to the board for 4-year terms. This request is for a motion to move this on to regular session. Motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Britt. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next order of business is new business. Budget amendments, all school funds, Board of Education representative. I believe that's Miss Valerie Underhill. The management is in a supervisory meeting tonight. You have a new person here, so be gentle.
Okay, good evening, commissioners and mayor. I am Valerie Underhill and I work in the finance department at the Board of Education. I am here tonight on behalf of Dr. Weeks. He has asked me to present 2 amendments that we are needing to make. These amendments were approved by the board on August the 25th. The first amendment is to purchase new buses. We need 2 special needs buses and 3 84 passenger buses. Ms. Garton, our transportation coordinator, has recommended that we go ahead and purchase these due to supply chain issues, as well as anticipated cost increases in January. The amendment is to transfer $727,000 from our fund balance into the transportation equipment line item. Our second amendment is for architectural and engineering work. This is to be done for the new drive and secure entrance at Dickson Middle School. These fees are anticipated to be $40,000 or less, and this will be an entry from fund balance to our capital outlays consultants line item.
Thank you. Any questions, Ms. Underhill? Any questions? If there aren't any, we'll open the floor for a motion to move this on to regular session.
Mayor, I know many of you've talked about this before. I'm an employee of the school board. I don't know if you've talked to legal yet about my ability to vote on anything to do with direct school buses or pay or anything like that.
Thank
I
you.
would like my opinion before I.
Mr. Reagan.
You're asking about whether there's a conflict on?
I work for the bus. I drive a school bus for the Board of Education. I didn't know if me voting on buying new equipment would be a conflict or not.
Yeah, so I think, and it's a question about direct or indirect conflict. My suggestion tonight, and let me look at it between now and the regular meeting when you vote on it, is you abstain tonight, and then we'll look at that.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing it up, Commissioner Grove. Floor is open for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner McElwain. Is that a motion to move on to regular session? Any questions for Ms. Underhill? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? With one abstention, Mr. Grove. Thank you, Ms. Underhill.
Thank you.
Next item of new business is solid waste management tipping fee. Mr. Jim Lunn is here tonight. Here's Mr. Lunn. Yes, if you come up.
This this first resolution on tipping fee. Excuse me, my voice is going on me. Requesting that class 1 being our household residential waste increase from $42.87 per ton to $54 per ton. And our class 3 demolition construction waste increase from $32 a ton to $40 per ton. Those are both based on increased in operational costs, as well as our contract with Waste Management, where we pay them to dispose of the class 1 waste.
Class 1, as he said, was residential garbage. This is the commercial tipping fee when a commercial hauler brings it in to our transfer station to have it done. This does not affect regular residential garbage that a resident of Dickson County may bring. Any questions for Mr. Lund?
How many private haulers do we have coming from outside of this county?
Well, any of your Waste Management, Republic, I mean, they're all from out of county. They're not based here. I mean, is the question, how much out of county waste are we getting? I told Ms. Spicer the other day, and the Bordeaux landfill in Nashville that's fixing to stop taking third-party waste, that's going to be another threat to us. And I was out at the county line when Ms. Spicer called me the other day playing trash police, trying to catch this one coming or that one coming. And I just by chance caught 3 different ones that day. Problem is I can't do that. I don't have the time to do that every day. I've got Mr. Reagan's office working on our, man, I'm sorry about my voice. Our zoning laws prohibit out of county waste. And Mr. Vandervoort is working on, I'm gonna put a statement on my scale tickets below the signature line that just states, here's the deal according to our codes, and penalty being this. I don't know what that penalty I'm allowed to assess yet, and that's what I'm working on. But are we getting it? Yes. How much? I don't know. Thank you.
Well, that's one of my concerns. I mean, like when we go to convenience sites,
Mhm.
and I've been there and somebody pull in with a Montgomery County tag, and most of the time, the guys working that, they'll notice that. And they'll tell them, you know, this is Dickson County, you know, you're not supposed to
Yep.
trash here, and they'll leave. But I know commercial type doings that comes through the scale, it may be a little different problem there to know who's in Dickson County, what's Dickson County trash, you know, like our local haulers, you know, that picks up our trash here in Dickson County. Use a good example is Cumberland.
Yeah.
They do a lot of local hauling
Yes, they do.
here in Dickson County. And I'm just wondering, why is it fair to charge them one rate and would charge the other guy the same rate if they're bringing trash from other parts, another county?
Well, I can assure you the intent isn't to allow that. I won't tell you that it never happens, because it does. But I can assure you, if I can stop it, I will. And like I say, a perfect example of what I'm trying to do right now as far as get that statement on the scale ticket. We're trying.
Thank you, Mr. Simpkins. Any other questions for Mr. Lund? Excuse me. Yeah, push that button and step into that thing.
So if you got it at the end of the ticket, they're already on the scale.
I'm sorry.
I said, if you put it on the ticket itself, correct me if I'm wrong, they're already on the scale.
They are already on the scale. Yes.
But now I use the landfill quite a bit myself,
Mhm.
and I've never seen a sign saying for local trash only or anything like that. Is there any way to do it like a warning?
I can. I mean, yeah, I've got 1,000 signs there, but yeah, I can absolutely put the warning there for sure. No, that particular sign is not there. No, but I can if that's a request. Absolutely.
Well, it may be useful before they're on the scale, because once you're on the scale, you're not going to back off of it.
We'll be glad to do that. It's a good idea.
Be glad to do it. Yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Lund?
So the class 1, is that like a commercial residential, Mr. Lund?
Yes, sir.
The commercial is like for contractors doing construction work?
Contractors, industrial, commercial.
I mean, just my opinion, people doing commercial work is making money off of it more than the class. They're picking up residents, taxpayers' trash and dropping it off, correct?
Yes.
I would rather see the commercial rate a lot higher than the other rate to offset to help the taxpayers. That my personal opinion.
I can't quote you TCA standing right here, but I can't charge different rates for commercial versus residential or that kind of, I can't charge different rates for a tipping fee.
Thought we was charging different rates, 54 and 40.
54, one's for construction debris and one's for class 1 residential commercial.
Okay.
Good questions. Any other questions, Mr. Lund? Commissioner Williams?
Are the cities exempt? The cities that pick up trash and bring it to are they exempt from these fees?
Yes.
Okay.
If they've got by contract, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? What we're looking for here is a motion to move this tipping fee on to the regular session. I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Buckner, second by Commissioner Ledger. Any other questions or discussion before we call for a vote? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next item is solid waste management tire contract. Mr. Lund.
We bid tire disposal, which it's prohibited by law. You can't dispose of whole tires in a landfill. So there's very limited things you can do with them. And the one option that we have is a tire company, and ours go to Kentucky. It's called Liberty Tire. They're the only bidder. They have been the only bidder. Yes, it seems somewhat like a monopoly, but that's our only option right now. Well, I bid this out, and I'm asking that you approve the contract based on their bid. The contract would move our cost from $70 per ton currently to $116 per ton. So it's going to effectively double our cost of disposal.
So the cost is being increased due to the new contract that Liberty Tire will take the tires,
Yes,
and they were the only vendor.
they're the only vendor. They're the only one that bid. They're the only ones that exist right now. The state of Tennessee in the last legislative session did come up with, if we can get tires shredded, yes, I can put them in a landfill. But the equipment to shred it, based on the volume that we do, we can't buy that equipment and the personnel and the equipment, the track holes or whatever else to do it any cheaper than we can pay this $116 a ton.
Any question, Mr. Lund? Open the floor for a motion. Move this to regular session. Motion by Commissioner Simpkins to have a second. Second by Commissioner Dawson. Any other questions or discussion?
It's still a 3-year contract.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Just one note to that too. We're part of the Development District Greater National Regional Council, GNRC. You'll hear those initials. There is a movement above all the counties involved in that, which is basically everything above Interstate 40 all the way to Trousdale County down to Rutherford County. All these about working together to come up where we can put together a system where we can shred the tires collectively and buy the equipment that way where it'd be more cost effective. So that's just information. That's an ongoing discussion there. Yes, sir.
At one time, asphalt companies were shredding tires to put in asphalt. Is that not done anymore?
Well, I can't tell you to what extent. I do know that the state of Tennessee, we're doing test plots with shredded tires. In fact, I think Eubanks and them did a section out on Highway 70, and that's probably been
Several years.
20 years ago. I don't know. And there are alternative uses, I'm sure. It's just the markets are not there to market them right now.
Thank you. Next time, business solid waste management tire fee increase. Mr. Lund.
Okay, this increase goes along with that contract. What I'm asking is that our tipping fee go from $70 per ton, which it is right now for tires, to $130.86. That goes along with the almost double increase in the contract. New tire dealers pay the state of Tennessee $1.30. It's called a pre-disposal fee. They pay that to the Department of Revenue. Department of Revenue sends us $1 for every tire they pay for. So in bringing that cost into line, since they've already paid an additional $1 to the Department of Revenue, a new tire dealer that can prove that they paid their pre-disposal fee to the state of Tennessee, we're asking that we move that rate to $59.34 per ton. And I'm sorry.
Any questions, Mr. Lund?
I have one. When you go to like a Goodyear or Firestone or something like that, you pay again a fee for your tire disposal.
They charge you,
Right. Where does that fee?
and they're supposed to take what they charge you and pay the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Any other question, Mr. Lund?
You'll be able to bring tires to the plant. No charge.
Right now, give me just a second. I'm trying to find the number of last year with just residential tires. I'm tending to get people that show up that have the magic number of 10 all of a sudden.
That's where I use that.
Well, I'm just saying it's becoming a problem because I have a lot of people that,
Can't count to 10.
well, they count to 10, but
They had like 4 or 5 more on it.
But you wouldn't believe how many people have got 10 tires in their yard. Either way, it is becoming costly for us. I would leave it to this board. My intention would be to charge that at this point. I'd leave it to this board. If you choose to tell me not to, we won't.
Can you get us some data on exactly just from random people like the people here in the county?
I've got it in this here somewhere. It just made, I wasn't prepared to answer
You
that,
know,
but
amount that, what we'd be looking at.
yeah, sure.
Just want to remind everyone, I think y'all know, but I always have to stop and remind everyone, the landfill receives no tax dollars. The landfill operates off tipping fees, grants, and the $10 residential fee. So if we eat cost, we're putting it back on someone else, and where 2/3 of the revenue does come from the $10 fee. So we've been very fortunate for 11 years that we have not had to raise that, and been well managed. But at the same time, if the stress from other areas come, the money's going to be made up somewhere, or operational services are going to be cut. It's so it's one or the other on that.
To me, Mayor, it sounds like we have some people that are abusing, like Mr. Lund had just made mention, people coming in with tires on a regular basis. You know, that's like me, you know. Coming every, what, 2 months, Jim, or something like that, pretty regular.
Probably not that much, but 3 maybe. I
2 or
don't know.
3 months.
2, 3 months.
tires. Yeah, I mean, anybody, you know, you put a stop to anybody abusing a freebie, that's going, you've done something. So I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's all got to be funded. But I would like it, if you can, just pass that along to the mayor, Jim, sometime.
I would.
I'd like to know just from the residents.
I've got it
have-
somewhere in here.
that you
I just
have,
can't dig
you
it
know.
out right now.
Yeah. Is it possible for you to have that together for me before Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll get it out to you no later than Friday, and we'll send it to you in an email.
Have it.
Thank you. Any other question, Mr. Lund? We're still on the tire fee increase.
One of your temporary helpers. And he was sort of disappointed, said the truck driver and all, everybody got a raise, but they didn't. Is there any way that you can address that as far as being maybe,
Well, I think there's plans that we address the part-time workers.
Yeah.
It may be later on, when we know, again, I don't get tax dollars, so I have to know when the books are closed, how much fund balance I have and how much there is to dwell out.
what do they make? What do they make per hour? Or
$9 an hour, $9 an hour.
$9 an hour.
You have, there's more than that.
There-
That,
If you hire in today, you're gonna make $9 an hour.
it's more than that.
Is it?
I wasn't prepared for the question, but
I
what
wasn't
we have
either.
historically, I got it. What we historically have done on this is once the books close, we come back and look at all part-time workers in the whole county, not only the landfill. Typically, we do that in October or November. Ms. Whitaker has just finished closing the books last week. I didn't have an opportunity to look at to get on this agenda for October, but we'll probably look at it. My understanding from the information she's given me, we're probably going to do what we historically done, and be about 25 cents an hour for every individual is what I think I'll be proposing, but I can give you a hard number on that. But yes, there seems to be quite an interest on that, but we've been very consistent about how we've done that.
You know, I don't know part-time, I mean, they said that they was there, you know, a lot of time and everything, so $9 an hour ain't too awful much to be paying somebody, especially the condition they're working in the environment.
We don't have any part-time jobs that pay less than 10, I think it's 10.25 an hour now. So
Yeah.
we've been consistent on that over the last 11 years. We've gone from minimum wage up to this amount. So we continue to move it forward, but I'll look into that because page wage is something that Ms. Moore takes care of in my office.
Okay, so I can pass on a quarter.
Well, I don't know it's going to be that, but that's my intent. But there seems to be a renewed excitement over there, but we're doing it like we have every year for the last 11 years. So my hope is to have something for you in November, but I need to do the analysis of the numbers. Otherwise I'm shooting in the dark, but my goal is a quarter an hour.
That's one good thing about being a commissioner. You get them phone calls.
You do.
I'm giving it to you.
I appreciate that. So thank you. We never got a motion on the tire increase. I'm looking for a promotion. Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Groves. Any other question on that portion of the business? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lund. I promise you the next department head is going to be easier. TEMA EMPG grant, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor. We applied for an EMPG grant through the ARP money, which is part of that American Rescue Plan, to build out a mobile command bus. We were able to acquire one of it's a medium-sized bus from the school system that they took out of service for mileage. And we were going to convert that into a mobile command unit for the county responders and anywhere else that needs it. And we applied for a grant for some of that. We've got some invoices or some quotes back where it's going to be about a $39,000 project to build out this bus. And we applied for the grant for $10,875 through the ARP. And one of the parts of this grant is this body has to approve us taking that money, but it's also a 50-50 hard match. So if they give us $10,800, we have to spend $10,800 for this project. And I've reached out to Director Bear with Ambulance Service, Sheriff Eads with the Sheriff's Department, and other ones with 911 about this, if they want to partner in with this and help build out this project. And they've all come to the table and said that they would do what they would be able to do this year. So, but that's part of this grant. If we choose to go forward with it, this body has to accept us taking this money, and then we have to match it $10,800.
So the financial match is the $10,000 figure he did. We have money in the accounts to do that. I'll let you make that. Any questions for Mr. Fisher?
This thing that goes to every fire, just go to the big major.
It will go to whatever it's called for. Most of the time, this would be used for something in a major fire or a law enforcement issue where there was a manhunt or sawmill fire, whatever. It will. Yeah,
I'll give your insurance agent a call.
and what we plan on building out for this, of course, is it'll have 2 911 dispatch centers in it to where 911 can actually send dispatchers to the scene as well. Multiple cameras, TVs, computer systems, pretty much everything you need to set up shop and manage that scene for hours if it's needed. But it'll go wherever we need to send it and wherever it's called for.
Any other questions from Mr. Fisher?
Total project, and that includes the paint work, of course, the TVs, computers, sending it to Select Tech, which is one of the companies that will help us build this out, running the electrical inside, and then getting it set up for a shoreline for a generator, which we have the generators. We don't have to purchase the generator. So it'd be a $39,000 total project.
This project was to be done over a 3-year period, but when this grant money's become available, it's allowed us to move it up quicker on this, getting the $10,000 from TEMA.
Yes, sir.
So we're not asking for a budget amendment. He's already got it appropriated. He just asked for approval.
There's money in his budget to do this, yes. Open the floor for a motion. Start the question. Motion by Commissioner McElwain, second by Commissioner Dawson. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Fisher, you do have another one. Donate fire truck to Harthurst Ridge Fire Department.
Yes, sir. Several years ago, we received a donated fire truck to us to partner up with Creekwood High School. They had some fire classes that were being taught over there and some medical classes. That truck was donated to us so we could help Creekwood facilitate that program. That program is not being offered at Creekwood at present time. And that truck is just kind of sitting there. We don't use it on emergency calls. And then I polled the volunteer fire departments in the county to see if they were wanting to use it for one of their departments if needed. And Harthurst Ridge said that if they could get it, that they would take possession of the truck. Again, it was donated to us from Charlie Wynn out of Kentucky. And I was wanting to just pass it on down the line to somebody else if they could use it.
Did anybody else ask whenever you put out to use the truck?
No, sir. We had one department that asked some questions about it, but once they got the information, they did not. Harthurst was the only one that would say that they would take it.
Any questions for Mr. Fisher?
No, sir, it's actually a custom pumper. It's a 1991 model. It's got a large capacity pump and a 500-gallon tank on it. And my understanding, Harthurst Ridge, Chief Coolman wants to use it as a reserve pumper, just in case they have something go down. They'll be able to utilize this one until they can get their other truck up and going.
Make sure you fill up tank with fuel, fuel before they take it out.
Okay, we're those kind of people. We'll do that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's got an older generator on there. It's got some odd and end adapters. There's a little bit of fire hose left on there, but not much.
I'll open forward for a motion to move this forward. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner Brett. Any other questions for Mr. Fisher? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Fisher. Item number 7 is grant match with American Rescue Plan funds. I'm going to ask to pull that. That was that we've noticed a discrepancy on the application with the Sylvia Tennessee City Pond portion application. What I will be bringing back in October, what we were trying to do on this, the state has provided American Rescue Plan money for local water authorities to expand their services. Of course, we have 3 different major services in Dickson County: Water Authority of Dickson County, STCP, and Van Leer. They have to come up with a match to get the state money. My goal was, and still is for the county to provide the match for Van Leer and for Sylvia Tennessee City Pond, because they just don't have the resources that Water Authority does. Water Authority is going to provide their own match on this. So that's what we're looking at doing. We have money in the American Rescue Plan funds. We think it's about a $450,000 total match we need that gets them. That's a 15% match. So if you do the math, you can see that it's a several $1 million projects that they can do to better serve their customers with water in those areas. One of the better ones that's being requested was to have Water Authority of Dickson County and Van Leer connected over here on Highway 49 to give them redundancy. As you know, they had an issue in Van Leer several years ago. They had to hand out bottled water. And I think with everybody's seen on the news, it's gone on Jackson, Mississippi. We can see how important having redundancy is both ways. So that project stood by itself with not any issue. There's some things that we need to revisit with Sylvia Tennessee City Pond, but we'll be on October's agenda. The approval, if you so choose to do it, has to be done by November 1st to qualify for the state funding. But just want to give you a heads up what that was, but we learned late Friday that that's not in a position to bring to you at this point. Under other business, we have approval elected officials bonds: Bob Ryle, Tim Eade, Shelley Yates, Glenda Pendergrass, Lynn Greer, Leslie Shelton, Pam Lewis, Chief Deputy Leslie Walters, Lynn Collins, and Tim Cunningham. Is there any motions needed on this, or what? How do we do this here 4 years? I don't remember. Okay. We're supposed to be bonded, so we need to open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Buckner, second by Commissioner Beatty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Another item under other business brought to our attention by Commissioner Ledger is Bruce Road. Bruce Road was paved recently, probably in the last 4 months. It had 30-mile-an-hour speed limit signs up. They've been taking it down, I don't know, during the paving process or the rebuilding of the bridge. We were going to ask Highway to put those back up, but after we did research, we can't find that the speed limit was ever established at any point in time on Bruce Road. So before we can lower our speed limit, we do need a vote from the county commission to lower speed limit. And on that, Commissioner Ledger, were you wanting to move it back to the 30 miles an hour it was originally posted? Or would you like for the Sheriff's Department, Highway Department to give you a response? It's up to you.
Well, after talking to everybody involved and everything, 30 mph is a question. It's just having the signs put back up in its ordinance.
Okay, so at that point in time, since there was never a proper resolution done, I want to take that as a motion to establish the speed limit on Bruce Road from Highway 48 down to West Piney.
Grindstone or West Garner's Creek. No, I'm sorry, West Piney.
You're still new, I think.
I know. I was looking at my roads in my head.
That's okay. All right, so let's establish speed limit from one end of the 30 miles per hour. That's a motion by Commissioner Ledger. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Beatty. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item of business is elections. On this, I'll turn it over to Mr. Reagan.
So
we do this. I'm sorry, I was supposed to tell y'all too. This is for 2-year terms.
right, so we are up at this time to reappoint with the beginning of this commission the positions of chairman of the work session, chairman pro tem of the work sessions, chairman of the regular meetings, and chairman pro tem of the regular meetings. So there's gonna be 4 different votes that are going to be taken tonight to make those appointments. And we're going to start with the work session. If you nominate someone for that position, it does not require a second, but once there are no further nominations, then we will vote on it. If there's only one name nominated, we'll do a voice vote. If there's more than one person nominated, then we'll do a roll call vote. So we'll begin with the chairman of the work session. And as a reminder, because sometimes it gets confusing about who's been in that role and how that works. Presently, Mayor Ryle is the person serving as the chairman for the work session. So at this time, the floor is open for nominations for the position of chairman of this legislative body's work sessions.
I got a question. Can you combine the motion to make the same person chairperson of work session and the regular in one motion?
You can.
I'll make a motion that we nominate Bob Ryle, chairman of work session and chairman of regular session.
All right, any other nominations? Hearing no further nominations, then nominations for the position of chairman of the county legislative body's work session and regular meetings is now closed. All those in favor of the nominee vote by stating aye. Those opposed, no. The motion carries. Mayor Ryle is elected to serve as chairperson of both the work session and the regular meeting. Next, we'll take up chairman pro tem of the work sessions. And the person who was most recently serving as chairman pro tem for the work sessions was Commissioner Linda Hayes, who is no longer on the commission. And so at this time, the floor is open for nominations for the position of chairman pro tem of this legislative body's work sessions.
Nominate Stacy Beatty as pro tem of work session.
Are there any other nominations for the position of chairman pro tem for the work sessions? Hearing no further nominations, then nominations for the position of chairman pro tem of the county legislative body's work sessions is now closed. All those in favor of the nominee that's been presented, Commissioner Beatty, vote by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Commissioner Beatty is appointed as and elected as the chairman pro tem for the work sessions. Then the final position is the chairman pro tem for the regular meetings. And presently, Commissioner Randy Simpkins is serving in that role as chairman pro tem for the regular meetings. And the floor is now open for nominations for that position. Are there any other nominations for chairman pro tem of the regular meetings? Hearing no further nominations for the position of chairman pro tem of the county legislative body's regular meetings are now closed. All those in favor of the nominee, Commissioner Simpkins, as chairman pro tem for the regular meetings, vote by stating aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Commissioner Simpkins is elected to serve as chairman pro tem of the regular meetings. Mr. Chairman, that closes those votes.
Thank you. Under, I already have a lot here. Under announcements, I do want to point out that Miss Cindy Gray and Danny Williams slipped by us on birthdays. So we're going to give you a retroactive happy birthday. Oh, no, I think Ms. Hayes notifies Commissioner Williams on 2 different occasions that it was his birthday. So she was really worried. She was really worried about you on that. Cindy, I hope your birthday as a commissioner-elect was a good one back on August 25th, I believe. Good. Any other announcements for the final announcement? Anybody got anything going on? Something's going on somewhere. Who's my Dickson people? Isn't there something going on in Dickson? They got when's Old Timers Day? Oh, and somebody else said something. We'll have another meeting before Commissioner Ledger. You'll have a birthday before we meet again. Don't ever. It's important to confess if you have a birthday. Don't make me look. So, well, happy birthday. Be at your age, you should. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anything else? Anybody have anything in Burns going on? Nothing. It's all gotten quiet. Everybody that's spending campaign monies, they're out of it, and there's nobody to show up to anything anymore. So no, that works. But there's no other announcements. The last will be the next work session meeting will be on Monday, October 3rd, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Buford L. Booty Reed Junior County Commission Chamber of the Dickson County Administration Building or Court Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. To have a motion second adjourn. Thank you.